Clean air. I do.
That?
I smell clean air.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday, the 24th day of August 2018. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, getting ready to slide on into the weekend. Dan Kuntz, your host, Steve Hair, news director to my left, Cat in control. In a pretty good mood. The air is breathable. Look at that.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's not bad at all.
Gosh.
Yeah, things are looking good from the air quality for the weekend. Now, next week, we're holding out. Still got the air quality alert. They're going to reevaluate that on later on today. The Department of Ecology, they're going to have a little meeting and decide what they think is going to happen. Right now, today and Saturday looks pretty good. Sunday afternoon, they think the winds will be blowing from north to south, which could bring some smoke and haze back down to the valley by Sunday afternoon and into Monday. Well, just got to tell you what they think is going to happen. Right now, though, it looks good. We're pretty happy with it. We're going to walk you through the air quality like we've been doing for the last couple of weeks here in just a couple of minutes. Steve has a raft full of news. We got everything else you're used to. We got sports. We got the obscure holiday. We have today in history. We got birthdays. We got everyone that's entitled to Mike McNulty's opinion. And in case you missed my conversation with Lynn Kelly yesterday from the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival, which is tomorrow night at the Town Toyota Center, we're going to replay that interview in its entirety coming up in the back half of the show. You ready to go around the valley? I can't wait. Normally we talk a little bit, but for the first time in 2 weeks, we can actually see stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, for instance.
Wow. A little bit of haze, but I'll
haze.
tell you what, it's looking pretty good.
And yes, that haze, and most of it is really confined to the East Wenatchee Bench area, is still that smoke and haze from the Cougar Creek fire, which got a little bigger, as you might imagine, in the wind. Steve has the absolute latest on that. You just talked to the PIO not 10 minutes ago. So
I did.
We literally have up-to-the-minute information on the
They're
fire.
waking up to a lot cleaner air this morning up at the base camp at the fish hatchery in Leavenworth.
That's good news.
They did get buffeted, though, by the winds overnight, and we'll have a recap for you.
And I can't wait to get outside this weekend. I haven't been able to go out and do things for the last couple of weekends because the air quality was so bad. But as I said, things look good today, look good tomorrow. Bit of a change maybe on Sunday, and the long-term forecast is still calling for some smoky and hazy conditions next week. Good morning, Jump Off Ridge. Good to see you there. The cross camera would be to your left. You can see the Stimelt Basin. And you can, well, you can kind of sort of see the Wenatchee Valley. Again, this camera here, this particular camera, Steve, it's way up there in elevation, so it can be a little, not quite what you're dealing with if you're down on the valley floor. Good morning, Jump Off Ridge. Beautiful view from up there. Good to see you. Camera 3, we say hello to Leavenworth, the Bavarian
the
village of
Tumwater
Leavenworth.
looking down on the beautiful Bavarian resort town.
I understand they're having a big, some sort of celebration coming up over the holidays, Steve. So
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Well, we've got Salmon Festival coming up next month.
That's right. Hey, Leavenworth, how are you?
Yeah.
Good to see you. What do we got for camera 4, Cat? Cat's the size. Let's go see Lake Chelan, see what's going on out there. Now, Lake Chelan's air is considerably worse than ours. We're going to get those graphics for you in just a little bit. They can't seem to break out of it. They've had it worse than almost anybody.
Well, it looks a little better than it has, though.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is definitely better than it has been for the last 2 weeks. But they're still unhealthy for sensitive groups, as is this program. By the way, we are unhealthy for sensitive groups. Heads up on that. All right, here we go again. It's our graphical representation of what we're dealing with air quality, and we are yellow. That's good. It's not good. Good is green. That's what you really want. That is your statewide map. Puget Sound area is still dealing with a little bit of gunky stuff, and also Spokane still can't seem to snap out of that, and they're gonna still have a little bit of smoke in the Spokane area. They say today, not so much for us. That's your state map.
Geez, what's going on in the Wanda Fuca Strait there?
I don't know.
That red dot there
There is a red dot.
on the peninsula.
That's a strange place to put it. Why would
Yeah,
they put an air
yeah.
monitor right in the middle of the strait?
I have no idea.
You got me. Somebody called George Vancouver and find out what's going on here. Here's your Wenatchee air quality today. I'd love to show you this. We're at 55. That is moderate. Almost good. Not quite, but moderate. That is so much better than what we've been dealing. In fact, we're going to show you our 3-day graph, the history of our air over the last 72 hours, and there you go. It peaked up just a little bit yesterday morning when we had that, the wind started to pick up, and it blew a little bit of smoke down here, and then it kind of really got going. And you can see it just got better and better and better and better as the day progressed, and that is good news. That's our 3-day air quality history for Wenatchee. Now, Chelan, you're at 107, so you are unhealthy for sensitive groups, but Like Wenatchee, it has gotten considerably better. Now, when we show you this Chelan graph, you'll notice a big blank spot there. That's when the air monitor thing wasn't working. So it didn't get good. It just wasn't working. So that's why you have that big gap there. But again, kind of like Wenatchee, look at Chelan's history. It was pretty bad just a couple of days ago, and it's gotten better and better and better and better. We'd like that because Chelan needs the folks to come up there and pay them a visit. In fact, we got a little story on that when we get to news here in just a little bit. So how long do we have this little respite from the lousy air? The weekend, anyway, looks really good. Big story today is going to be the wind, and a high of only 77. That's pretty cool for this time of year, Steve. It is a cold front. It's going to be windy today. Northwest wind 13 to 17 miles an hour. Gusts as high as 28 miles an hour. Windy today, windy tonight. 55 for the overnight low. That's cool. Northwest wind 7 to 17 miles an hour with gusts as high as 30 again tonight. Saturday, partly sunny and a high of 77. Again, windy. Northwest wind 7 to 17 miles an hour, gusts as high as 28. Now, Saturday night, the cold front will begin to exit the area. That's going to calm things down. So for Sunday, they're thinking we're going to be hazy again with a little bit of smoke on Sunday as the winds die down and then change direction a little bit. And that's when they're concerned about maybe blowing some of that gunky air from the fires in central British Columbia back down to see us again. So Sunday, we're going to go back to a little bit of hazy conditions and a little bit of smoky. And although I hate to tell you this, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, haze and smoke off and on mixed with sunshine. So it's going to be not too bad, certainly better than what we've had. But we're not totally out of the woods yet. Don't go out and think, hey, it's going to be now we're done with it for Friday and Saturday because the National Weather Service says with the change in the winds, we could see some haze and some smoke starting Sunday afternoon and going through Tuesday or Wednesday.
Although the fires dictate that hazy condition, and firefighters are making some progress, so hopefully we'll see maybe a less intensity because the relative humidities are going up, temperatures are coming down, and a little calmer weather. The firefighters are looking at pretty favorable conditions for fighting these fires, so hopefully we'll have maybe a decrease in the volume of smoke that we've had.
That would be nice. Yeah. That would be nice. Fair skies, 61 degrees, 51% relative humidity, winds west-northwest at 10 miles an hour as we speak at 8 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have your Friday morning news, so grab your coffee, come right back and join us in 60 seconds with Steve Hair and your Friday morning headlines. And the news is brought to you by our friends at Cascade Medical. Train with a physical therapist who loves the outdoors as much as you do. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
The physical therapists at Cascade Medical love the outdoors as much as you do. But sometimes where there's love, there's also pain. Let us help you get back to the activities that you love. Cascade Medical, partners in your health.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson, where we've got huge news. We've started our Blueberry U-Pick. It's a great time to toss the family in the car and get on out to Blueberry Hills, where you can get the best down-home scratch country cooking around and pick some of the world's most delicious and largest blueberries that have been high desert farmed. This makes for an intense blueberry flavor, and they are so much fun to pick. Our fields are open 8 to 2:30 daily and restaurant from 8 to 3, so come on out and join us.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hair.
And we welcome you back to the program in our Friday, August 24th report. First of all, let's touch base with the fire, the Cougar Creek fire this morning. Gusty winds pushed that fire in an easterly direction overnight as a cold front passes through our region. But the change in weather brings cooler temperatures, higher humidity, but the windy conditions serve to test containment lines, especially on the east flank of that fire toward the Entiat Valley. In fact, word from Incident Command this morning is that they made good progress yesterday. In fact, with the clearer conditions as well, that they were able to get some aircraft up there, and they're expecting pretty much a big air show today as well. And they're going to get some fixed wing air retardant drops on those fire lines, especially on the western flank that threatens the Chumstick Valley. Meanwhile, we're also awaiting the latest report from the morning briefing. We talked just a few minutes ago with officials there. As of yesterday, now the fire was 40% contained. They tell us this morning that has not changed. Also, the acreage number has increased now to over 40,000 acres of forest land between the Eniat and the Tyee Ridges. Over 1,000 firefighters currently assigned to the fire. Let's turn now to our evacuation map. Also, no changes in the evacuation levels on both sides of that blaze. In the Eniat to the east, you can see the yellow is the level 2 evacuation, and the green area there denotes the level 1s. Same on the east or the west side of the fire. Yellow is the level 2, and the green area there is your level 1 evacuation levels. Also this morning, this is what Quincy police say is the suspect vehicle in a shooting that left one man dead in the parking lot of a local auto parts store. It was yesterday morning. Officers responded to a report of an unconscious adult male near the QMS Auto Supply store located off Central Avenue South in the 700 block. The victim was deceased, believed to have been shot numerous times. Police say the shooting is an isolated incident, and investigators believe the victim was targeted. They say there is no current threat to the community at large. The victim's body is in the possession of the Grant County Coroner's Office. An autopsy is set for tomorrow. The name of the victim will be released by the Coroner's Office. Well, the Grant County Sheriff's Office reports the arrest of a man wanted as a suspect in a recent armed robbery in Ephrata. Alfredo Silva was taken into custody yesterday. Silva, accused of first-degree robbery, first-degree assault, and first-degree unlawful possession of a firearm stemming from an August 13th robbery. No one was injured in that shooting. A $1,000 reward had been offered for his arrest. He was traced to a home on June's Court in Ephrata, and he surrendered there without incident. As north central Washington has been suffocating under a blanket of thick smoke and haze, how are communities that depend on tourist dollars faring this year? We took our NCW Live cameras to Chelan this week to find out. Mike Steele, the executive director of the Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce, said really it's too early to gauge the economic impact of the smoky skies on local businesses.
Well, we're still trying to gauge sort of what the effects are of the smoke. You know, we've lived through this before, and the one positive benefit we have this year is there's no real imminent threat of fire. You know, in years past, we've had fire as an actual threat. So as smoke fills the valley, it's also filling the rest of the state. So one of the benefits to that is people are saying, well, if we're going to be in smoke, we might as well be in smoke at the lake. And so, yes, traffic has dwindled a little bit, but I don't think the ramifications have been significant. We'll see. I mean, and we're working with our membership right now to actively gauge that. We'll have a major board discussion tomorrow night around what exactly the impacts of the smoke have been, and then go from there. We've, again, rebounded from this stuff before.
Meanwhile, Janice Cooney, the owner of Vogue Coffee Shop in downtown Chelan, and she told us the influx of firefighters has kept her business really busy.
We seem to, at times, be busy. Our business this past week has been driven by a large group of firefighters that are here on call from Australia. And that's been good, and they've patronized us. And it's a large group, and so we've enjoyed very much having them.
Steele agreed that businesses not tied to outdoor recreation seem to be doing better.
Anecdotally, I think they are faring better because people are, because of the smoke, they're pushing themselves inside. So they're shopping, they're retailing, they're restauranting. We'll see, again, what kind of impact the smoke has from folks visiting out of the area, if they're canceling their trips or if the vacancy rates have changed. We're not finding that. We call twice a week, all of our lodging partners, and we're still seeing fairly significant numbers in those lodging contacts. So we're not seeing a lot of cancellations due to the smoke. And again, since Seattle is covered in it, they're thinking it's not a bad place to be.
In fact, we have more on how the smoke is affecting businesses around Lake Chelan coming up on Monday's NCW Life News. In an announcement earlier this week, the Sears Holding Company announced it was shuttering more U.S. stores in November. The largest of those on the list in Washington is the store in Tacoma. At the same time, but unrelated to the national store closures, the Sears hometown outlet store at Wenatchee Valley Mall is also closing. The owners of the local outlet, one of the smallest in the country, have been trying to sell the business for some time. They're currently in the midst of a going out of business sale. Sears was the flagship store of the mall for years. It has been in the Wenatchee Valley for decades. Sears Holding Company has been closing low-earning Sears and Kmart stores across the country for the past several years. Sign of the times, unfortunately. Bucking bulls, a professional Indian relay race, fair rides, livestock, and great food. Just some of what you could expect to see at the NCW Fair in Waterville this week. It began yesterday. It runs through Sunday. Yesterday was Senior Day at the fair. Today, Waterville country music stars Blackhawk take the grandstand main stage at 7:30 tonight. Country group has sold 7 million albums, their 20-year career. Also, Saturday is Kids Day at the fair. Kicks off the first day of the Big Bend Roundup Rodeo. And horse racing at 4 p.m. Culminates with the ever-popular Indian relay race, always a crowd favorite. More horse racing and rodeo on Sunday as the fair concludes. Start time at 1:30. Fair officials told NCW Life News yesterday that air quality will not affect the junior livestock competition. Breathing masks will be available to anyone that requests one. Also, a teachers union official sounds encouraged with the new labor contract that her rank and file members recently ratified. Chris Cameron with the Wenatchee Education Association said the negotiations with the district went a lot smoother than 3 years ago. Cameron sat down with NCW Life to talk about those negotiations. Can you give us a sense of the state of education right now from a teacher's viewpoint here in the Wenatchee School District?
Sure. Well, 3 years ago, as you know, we had a pretty bumpy experience with contract negotiations with the district, and we have worked very intentionally and collaboratively to rebuild that relationship. And we have gotten involved with an organization that works with labor management teams, because what the research is showing now is that when labor management groups work successfully together, that it not only improves student academic achievement, but it also can mitigate for the negative effects of poverty. So we take that really seriously, and that has spilled into our negotiations process. And it was a tough negotiation. I know you've been reading in the news about the complicated way that the legislature funded these salary increases, and they undermine local control by saying, well, we're going to raise state property taxes to generate this revenue that the Supreme Court is requiring us to generate. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they lowered the amount that local communities are able to levy locally.
Kind of hamstrung.
They absolutely did. And the state, they also abolished the state salary schedule, which was a uniform pay scale for all districts around the state. And so when they abolished that, they said, well, here's some extra money. We're going to give you more state money, take away some of your local money, and now you figure out your own salary schedule. So that was an incredibly complicated process.
You're going to say it really kind of takes away some local control.
It does, absolutely. And so what had happened over the years is that the state, I don't know if you remember back Initiative 732 was passed about 20 years ago.
Classroom size initiative.
Class size, mm-hmm. And also 732 was about an annual cost of living adjustment for teachers. And the legislature didn't fund that, so teacher salaries really lagged. So what local districts like Wenatchee did with local levy funds is they kind of contributed to that to keep teacher salaries at least closer to market standard. Mm-hmm. So when the legislature said, well, here's more money for salary, but we're taking away this local money that you've used to help supplement salaries, it made for a very complicated process. So I have to say that we are very grateful to our local school district for really doing that hard work with us to come up with a good agreement.
Now that the union has ratified, now that the union has ratified that vote, the Wenatchee School Board is also expected to ratify the new contract when they vote on it at their next regular meeting. That's coming up on September 12th. Well, Dan, looks like good news for the teachers of North Central Washington. I know that the Eastmont teachers had ratified their contract here a couple of weeks ago, so things are A-OK and ready to go for the new school term.
The two big school districts, the Wenatchee and Eastmont School District, their first day of school is Wednesday the 29th. It's
Cascade started this week.
Did they?
Yeah, in their brand new high school.
That's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
We'll get some pictures up of that for you a little later for the afternoon news with Grant Olson at 5.
A couple of housekeeping items. Because the smoke has cleared, the Wenatchee High School Panther Booster Club kickoff party scheduled for leave off the field at the Apple Bowl is a go.
All right.
So that's good. That's tonight. Now tomorrow is supposed to be the football jamboree. Don't know if that's going to happen yet, simply because a few teams backed out already. I don't know if the Jamboree is going to happen. That's tomorrow, but tonight, the Wenatchee High School Panther Booster Club fall sports kickoff barbecue and party will happen at 6:30 at Leboff Field at the Apple Bowl. And also, we got an email from Carrie Ordway up there in beautiful Chelan, and he wants to let us know that the Woodstock anniversary event, if you were there, you don't remember, which is tomorrow, is going to be held at the main ballroom at Campbell's. It was supposed to be outside. Now they're going to move it inside. So if you were planning to go to that Woodstock party up in Chelan tomorrow, it's still going to happen. It's just going to be inside. So there you go. The news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6, and 10. 3 chances to check out the news with Grant Olson. So that's a good time to, before you start your weekend, fill your head full of the information that you need, including weather and sports. And you can also watch it if you prefer online. You can do that as well. It's going to be on our Facebook page and on our website. And our Facebook page and our website are two of the many tools that you can use to get a hold of us. Steve.
That's right. Communication is key, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What?
Communication is key, isn't it? I repeat myself. Hey, you can do it any number of ways, folks. You can talk to us on our email. Our address is news@ncwlife.com. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Our 2 pages there are pretty busy. People talking, conversing, and being social. That's cool. Also, hey, if you want to contact us on our Facebook or our web page, you can do it. Just click the little tab at the top of the page. It says Contact Us at ncwlife.com. And then finally, if you see news happening, we have a breaking news hotline. You can call 888-6295. That's 888-NCWL for breaking news.
Quite a bit of sunshine today, high of 77. That's chilly because it's a cold front. Windy today, windy tonight, windy on Saturday. Smoke and haze could return by Sunday afternoon. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports and everything else you're so used to. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Live this morning from Studio 10 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hair.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
And welcome back to this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Sports. The Wenatchee Valley Rams, of course, defeated the Tri-City Rage. They won the WWFA championship. That was last weekend in Renton. The head coach, Mickey White, and Gary Shaw said it wasn't easy considering the weapons that Tri-Cities has.
They got a guy by the name of Harry Peoples. He was a star standout at Louisiana Lafayette. And you can game plan for this guy and scheme all you want, and he ad-libs and makes things happen. Kid's a special football player. And did it to us again and caught us off guard early, and like Coach said, we were down 17-0 right off the bat. But I think the biggest difference, moving forward is we have a lot of guys on our team that have won championships, and they never hit the panic button. We just kept pecking away and came away victorious.
With the victory in the state championship, that means that the Rams are now qualified for the national semifinals. They're scheduled to play in Salt Lake City, Utah, September 14th against the West Hash Revolution. The immediate challenge for the Rams is raise money so they can get there.
We're kind of a mom and pop's team. My wife and myself own the team along with another guy out of Pullman, and it's very difficult to raise enough money to get to these. We took the game. They offered it to us. It's a national qualifier game. What they're trying to do is have the best teams across the nation play each other and have a true national champion. So we'll go down and play Utah, try to raise enough money to get down there. Our fans and our community have been great in years past. They raised a lot of money for us, helped us raise a lot of money to get down to Denver in 2015. And we go down there and win this game. We'll go on again at the end of September and it could be in one of 4 sites. We'll play the winner of Southern Cal Patriots and Denver Greyhawks. Denver Greyhawks. So it could be hosted in Denver, California, or up here in Washington. We're going to do everything we can to get it up here.
Yeah, so the Ram players and the Ram families will be getting together, doing some fundraising to help defray the costs so they can get to Utah in 3 weeks.
You know, last time we did a GoFundMe on our Rams public page, which we're doing again. We also came up with flyers to hand out to businesses where they can sponsor X amount of dollars, just a player or pitch in on the team. We're doing a Hawaiian sale, barbecue sale. So September 2nd, we're going to have a Hawaiian barbecue feed, and we're going to sell $15 meal tickets. And they can either come pick it up where we're grilling at, or a Ram player will bring it to you and drop it off.
Just go to Facebook, type in the search bar Wenatchee Valley Rams, and everything you need to know to help the Rams out will be right there. Well, the smoke in north central Washington has had a negative impact on sports plans for the weekend. Pretty much for the last couple of weeks, most of the teams that would normally practice outside, be it football or girls soccer, they've had to do it inside. Don't know about the football jamboree tomorrow at Lee-Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl. We do know that there will be no racing this weekend at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. They've canceled that. There will be racing, however, on Saturday, September 8th. One thing that isn't impacted by the smoke, hockey. The Wenatchee Wild host the Trail Smoke Eaters tomorrow and Sunday at the community rink. The general admission tickets are just $10. It's a 4-period format. It gets underway at 7 o'clock on Saturday and at 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Well, the Seahawks in Minneapolis taking on the Vikings. Our own Eric Granstrom is there, and he filed this little preview for you.
Hello from the Twin Cities here in Minneapolis, where the Seahawks take on the Minnesota Vikings tonight in Game 3 of the preseason. And if there's a preseason game to pay attention to, tonight is the night, because this is when we find out what kind of team the Seahawks may have, because the starters will go through the first half and at least one series into the second half. One thing they want to improve upon offensively is scoring in the red zone. Lots of problems with that and mistakes made last week in the loss to the Chargers. And Brian Schottenheimer wants to clean that up this week. Also watch the battle at right tackle on the offensive line between George Fant, Jermaine Ifedi, and Isaiah Battle. That is quite a battle. They'll be rotating in there on the right tackle position. Watch also what type of protection they're able to provide for Russell Wilson and what type of run blocking they're able to provide for Chris Carson and the rest of the running backs. Defensively, they're still trying to look for an identity. The Legion of Boom is gone. All the old names are gone. And Bobby Wagner says there's a lot of communicating that they need to improve upon as they get ready for Game 3 here of the preseason. What else can we look for tonight? Well, Minnesota, one of the best teams in the NFC last year, one of the best teams in the NFL, got that close to getting to the Super Bowl. They signed a new quarterback of the offseason, so we're going to see Kirk Cousins, former Washington Redskin, now a Viking. By the way, Minnesota comes in at 1-1. The Seahawks 0-2 so far in the preseason. Also, some injuries going to give other people opportunities. J.D. McKissick is out 4 to 6 weeks with a foot injury. That's going to give David Moore not only the chance at wide receiver, but also returning kicks. So watch for that one tonight. Bradley McDougall won't play tonight, so Maurice Alexander is going to get a lot of time at safety. Also, Brandon Maxwell out, so a lot of Dante Johnson. So those are some of the things to look for tonight with a 5 o'clock kickoff here at the U.S. Bank Stadium. They say it's built like a Viking ship. As I drove into town tonight, looks more like Noah's Ark, but nonetheless, that's where the game will be played. It's the Vikings and the Seahawks, 5 o'clock on Fox, Q13 in Seattle, and Channel 28 in Spokane. Here in Minneapolis, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCW Life Channel.
And do what I do, watch the game on television, but listen to the radio broadcast, because Eric is the producer on the Seahawks radio network broadcast. You can hear it on over 55 stations in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, British Columbia, Alaska, even Hawaii. And Eric will have a recap of tonight's game on Monday's news and Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Mariners are in the Arizona Interleague Series, taking on the Diamondbacks for the weekend. Seattle got to turn this ship around. They've been struggling throughout the course of the month of August. They've dropped 6 of the last 9 games. They're just 9-12 this month. Erasmo Ramirez will start for the Mariners. The D-backs will go with Zach Godley. First pitch is at 6:40. Only one game in the American League West last night. To the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. The Mariners got a little help from the Twins at Target Field. In Minneapolis last night, they beat Oakland 6-4 in the first of a 4-game series. So with that loss, Oakland drops a game and a half behind Houston for the lead in the American League West, and now leads Seattle by 3.5 games for the final wild card playoff spot. And at 30 minutes after the hour on this Friday, let's move forward with the obscure holiday of the day today. And the obscure holiday is National Waffle Day. Doesn't that look good? Waffles. It was on this day in 1869 that Cornelius Swathout was issued the patent for the waffle iron, which made waffles so much easier to make. Tasty facts about waffles. Thomas Jefferson brought a waffle iron to the U.S. from France when he was over there in the late 1700s. The waffle comes from the Dutch word meaning wafer. In 1953, Eggo introduced frozen waffles, and the soles of the first pair of Nike sneakers ever made were made with a waffle iron. And the nice thing about waffles is that you can cover it in your butter and your syrup, and it goes inside the little crevices and it doesn't fall out. Have yourself a waffle today. Today is National Waffle Day. And now let's do Today in History. We're going to go way back to August 24th, 79 AD. That doesn't look like fun, does it? Mount Vesuvius erupts. 3 cities wiped off the planet, buried in volcanic ash. Vesuvius has erupted a lot of times. In fact, Vesuvius is the only volcano on the European mainland that has erupted within the last 100 years. It's considered by many experts to be the most dangerous volcano in the world because about 3 million people live in the general vicinity of Mount Vesuvius, and every time it erupts, it doesn't give any warning. It just boom, just like that, and they say it will happen again. The famous eruption of Mount Vesuvius 1,939 years ago. That's why we don't have a picture. We just have a painting. We also don't have a picture of what happened on this date in 1814 during the War of 1812. British troops invaded Washington, D.C. For the only time in this country's history, our nation's capital was occupied by a foreign force. Yeah, the British troops, they set the White House ablaze, the Capitol, all kinds of buildings all over Washington, D.C. All of the important documents were snuck out of our nation's capital during the War of 1812. Got a lot of people pretty mad, so we took the capital back. Happened on this date 204 years ago. 29 years ago today, August 24th, 1989, it still bugs me. Still bugs me. Pete Rose, banned for baseball for gambling by Commissioner A. Bartlett Giamatti. That's all I'm going to say about that. Still disappointed in that. Microsoft Windows 95 came out on this date, August 24th, 1995, 23 years ago. It was huge. Windows 95, released to the public in North America. It sold a lot. Happened on this date 23 years ago. And Pluto got demoted on this date 12 years ago. There's Pluto. August 24th, 2006, the International Astronomical Union redefined the term planet in such a way that Pluto is now considered a dwarf planet. They didn't consult Pluto. They just said, you're not a planet anymore. Sorry. That's not fair. Happened on this date 12 years ago. We got birthdays for you at 33 minutes after the hour. Happy 73rd birthday to Vince McMahon. Started out as a wrestler, then got into the promotion, an entrepreneur. Co-founded, of course, WWE. He's an interesting guy. He's also 73 years old today. Somebody should probably tell him. Happy birthday, Cal Ripken Jr., 58 years old today. The great American baseball player. Of course, Baseball Hall of Fame, class of 2007, played in 2,632 consecutive games, all of them with the Baltimore Orioles, one of the great shortstops of all time. Cal Ripken Jr. is 58 years old today. Marlee Matlin is 53 years old today. Won an Academy Award for Children of a Lesser God. She still acts. She works on Broadway. She works in films and on television. She's 53 years old today. And our own Tracy Yednick. Where's Tracy? There she is. That's Tracy from a couple of years ago in St. Louis. Tracy is one of our favorite coworkers. She's in her mid-50s. We'll leave it at that. Happy birthday, Tracy. We all love you here at the old Broadcast Metroplex, 34 minutes after the hour. Everybody's entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. His topic, it's these kids today. What are we going to do about these kids? And then my conversation with Lynn Kelly from the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival. The big party is tomorrow night. Still to come between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel. Looking for a hands-on, high-demand job? Now is the perfect time to get trained for a career in manufacturing. Washington currently has a shortage of skilled tradespeople, and retirements are making room for more. The machining program at Wenatchee Valley College is designed to give students the foundation to excel in this precision industry. Don't wait, there are only 15 spots left. A 2-year degree and a 1-year certificate are available. Learn more at wvc.edu/machining.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old, fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
You can buy fruit almost anywhere. From first off the tree to first in your hands, Lone Pine offers seasonal fruit from their farm and around the region every day. Make Lone Pine your latte stop with coffee from Blue Star Coffee Roasters and a fresh piece of fruit pie. Take a break with a friend and order a cold micro beer or a glass of Northwest wine. Bring the whole family and enjoy a Lone Pine lunch or a fresh shake in their park-like setting. Lone Pine Fruit and Espresso on Highway 97.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I just read a friend's Facebook post, and they asked if Cliff Notes were still a thing, because he mentioned them to a younger person who didn't know what he was talking about. Now, this made me think of how much other stuff I have mentioned to millennials that, to their loss, they never heard of, like Sophia Loren, believe it or not, Aesop's Fable, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Michelangelo's Moses, his statue David, and others. Farrah Fawcett, film noir, and of course the two best car chase movies ever filmed, Bullet and The French Connection. Millennials, they miss out on all this stuff. That reminds me of when my kids were younger, and when I wanted to share a classic movie with them, they'd moan, "Oh, black and white, we don't want to watch this." Oh gosh, it's painful just thinking about all the stuff that our younger generation has missed. Man, kids these days. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
We've been in the cleaning industry for over 10 years, and we notice a need in the housing market for reliable, professional, and specialized cleaning and finishing company.
They come in with spunk and personality, a lot of energy, and they take pride in their business.
We offer a wide array of cleaning solutions, no matter how big or small the job. Anything from new construction to move-in, move-outs, we do it all. Give us a call today to see how we can help you with your cleanup.
Summer is here, Wenatchee Valley, and Collins is your headquarters for all your events and summer lifestyle. Colorful tunics and tees and cool, easy care fabrics, capris, bermudas and shorts, and dressy and casual fabrics, sundresses for warm days that are cool and flattering, amazing special occasion dresses from Joseph Ribkoff. Collins has cute, comfy sandals and shoes, so come in and pamper your feet. Brighton handbags arriving daily in vibrant colors, amazing styles. Come in soon to Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools. And be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's back for the 8th big year. That means they've done 7 of them, and they pretty much know what they're doing by now. It is the event of the weekend. It is the 8th annual Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival. I said it correctly. And here to talk about it on Saturday night at the Town Toyota Center is your friend of mine, Lynn Kelly, who's been on this show numerous times, talk about numerous things, the woman who wears many hats.
I do,
Yeah.
these days.
Hi, Lynn.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing good.
Good. I'm so glad to hear it.
Thank you. Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival, Backtown Toyota Center. Best wines, best food.
It's true.
8? They've done 8 of these?
8 of these. This will be the 8th.
When was the first? It was like in your garage or something? I don't
It
remember
was
that.
at St. Joe's,
Okay.
actually, in
Oh,
their
that's right. Yes.
Kuykendall Hall there.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we just use that as kind of our starting point for our judging, because this whole affair starts with judging more than 200 wines from North Central Washington.
How do I get that gig?
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet gig, but it's taken. There are professionals, believe it or not,
Yeah, in
who
fact,
do that gig.
These folks know what they're doing. You got
They really do.
you got Andy Perdue, you got Christine Bono, you got Dan Carr, you got my good friend Bob Robertson, Rick Stegmeyer, who's been writing about wine forever, Sarah Wilson. How did you get these folks? Well, how'd you get these folks? You want to come drink some wine in June?
We got connections,
Yeah.
and so it really starts with that that whole piece where they taste and taste and taste, and they narrow it down and narrow it down, and then rejudge and rejudge until we get to the best.
Now the wine has actually already been, the judging thing is done, right?
The judging is done. That was done in June, and the results will be announced on Saturday night.
Okay.
So Foothills Magazine is our main presenting body, and we co-sponsor it with the Town Toyota Center. And so they're our presenting body with us, and then our sponsors, we've got the Port of Chelan, and then Moss Adams help sponsor the event as well. But yeah, the judging is done, and we can't wait to show you the winners. So come on.
For people who've never been to the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival, why can I not say that?
It's okay.
For people who've never been there, walk them through the program, walk them through what to expect.
Sure. So we had 250 VIP tickets available this year, and they're all sold out. So they're done, and those people get to join us starting at 5 o'clock, so they have a special experience just for the first hour. And then general admission starts at 6 o'clock, and you'll come in the front door, you'll get your glass, you'll get your plate, and then you can go on in, and we've got some people out in the concourse, and then most of our people are in on the main floor at the Town Toyota Center. So it's food, wine, we've got a couple of breweries, distilleries, and also cider. So something for everybody, really.
I went 2 years ago. Well, this is a perfect shot of it.
Oh, yeah.
I went 2 years ago, and out on the deck or someplace, I can't remember where it was, they actually had a cigar bar, and you could sit there and smoke a big old stogie while you drink your wine.
The River House Cigar Bar will be back again this year, and we'll have Lance Tigner will be out there providing music, and then we've got the Confluence Trio in the main hall. So yeah, there's a little bit of everything for it.
How many different types of wine and how many different wineries are participating?
We have 31 wineries participating, and everything from fruit wine to more traditional wines.
Ciders?
Pretty much ciders. We've got 6 different cider places. Steelhead, Pear Up, Archibald cider, a new cider out of Chelan. So there's a little bit of everything.
And the food?
And the food. The food. Well, our co-host is the Town Toyota Center, so Beyond Creations is one of our food vendors, and they do a fantastic job. Jody is great. They do a great job for us. New this year, we have the Wenatchee Convention Center will be there and talking about what they can do for you for holiday parties. Then we have Ina's Cuisine. We've got the Cafe Columbia. Visconti's is our glass sponsor, so they'll be there with Cured and Visconti's. India House will be there. The Lavender Boutique. We have lavender ice cream and lavender lemonade. The fudge people from Leavenworth will be there from Flavor Creation. So, you know, we just have a little bit of everything.
What, like I said, I've been there before, and it is a lot of fun. Can you just walk in and buy a ticket, or do you have to
You can. Okay. You can, and in fact...
Yeah, go right ahead.
Don't let me forget.
Here's Lynn Kelly with an exciting announcement.
Yes, exciting news. We do have a discount code for viewers today.
Ooh, okay.
NCW Life 10.
NCW Life 10.
Correct.
So if
That'll
you go
get you $10
online,
off.
And I'm online right now. It's WenatcheeWineandFood.com is the website.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right here. You can go buy tickets, and
Yep.
I'm clicking on that. You got your credit card ready to go?
Yeah.
Lynn? Okay. Let's go ahead. We'll start with your number.
Yep. So it's capital N, capital C, capital W, capital Life. NCW Life 10. We'll get you $10 off the $45 ticket price.
You mentioned the VIP tickets, which is what I did 2 years ago.
So
I'm a
really,
VIP.
yeah.
$75 sold out. Was there any thought about maybe expanding that, or?
No, we really want to keep that to an exciting experience and an exclusive experience for people who are willing to spend the $75. They get an extra hour early admission. And it's just those 250 people. They get a bottle of wine. They get their own little insulated tote bag. This year, it's got a bottle of wine opener in it, some snacks, and then they actually have their own VIP lounge too. So during the course of the evening, all the golds and double golds will be served directly right in there.
So who knows right now what wines have won the big awards, the gold medals and the super duper?
The winners know.
They know.
The winners know, yes.
Okay.
And because they've been interviewed. So, and then, of course, the staff at the Wenatchee World and Foothills Magazine all know. So.
The judging was done in June. Walk me through that. Was it just all of these super duper wine experts, these audiophiles sitting around and taking and comparing notes? Was it like an all-day thing?
It is an all-day thing, and they have, I think, 4 different panels, and every panel has kind of a head judge that walks them through the process. All the wines are, it's a blind taste test, so every wine bottle gets its own label, and then every glass gets its own label that corresponds. So it's a blind taste test, and they really don't know what they're tasting. So.
But if they're really good, and these people are really good, they're going to say, well,
really
that's a Jones, and that's a Patel.
I don't know that happens.
You don't think so?
I don't know that happens. It's really interesting. So they do all the tasting on the first round and give the first round judging, then they take a break and have lunch, and then they rejudge the top awards, and everybody rejudges the top.
And then they take a cab home.
We take good care. I will say, if you're coming on Saturday night, have a designated driver or take a cab, or Uber and Lyft both operate in Wenatchee now. So.
Are these people experts in the individual kinds of wines? Say, I'm Bob Smith and I know a good cab when I taste one, or I know Merlot, or I know that kind of deal?
I think they span, they have a pretty good wide palette and span the globe of wine.
I'm a cab guy. Cab goes good with almost anything.
It really does.
It really does.
It really does. But the truth is, good wine goes with lots of things.
That's true. That's true. So can people, if they're there and they're tasting this particular vintage from this particular winery, and they go, wow, that's good. Can I buy a bottle? Can you do that?
You can buy a bottle, and in fact, the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center is the not-for-profit organization that's the beneficiary of those bottle sales. So not all the wineries participate in that, but most of them do, and we have about a case of each wine to 2 cases of each wine, depending on the winery, available for purchase. It is considered by the state as a not-for-profit event, and so there is no tax, no sales tax, no liquor tax. So if you're buying spirits, there's no tax on that. So a good opportunity to make a purchase if you find something you really like.
You mentioned, we'll go off topic just a little bit, you mentioned the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center, one of my favorite places to be. Big night tonight. You're the committee has whittled it down to 2 finalists to take over the day-to-day operations. You want to walk me through that a little bit while you're here?
Sure. So we have been looking for a new director, and we're excited to announce that we do have 2 candidates, and they'll be at the museum all day today. Kenny is from the Pacific Science Center, and she's the outreach director there right now, so local-ish, but brings a big city perspective to things and a lot of great museum experience. And then Matt Cadman, well-known here in the Wenatchee Valley, very local, excellent director of the Performing Arts Center here in town. So we're excited. We have 2 very good candidates to look at, and they'll be at the museum all day long and available this evening at 5:30 if the public wants to come out and meet them Thursday night. We'd be happy to have you come down and meet them and talk to them and listen to them about their vision for the museum.
And then there's the formal process where, is that like when they sit down and they pitch themselves to a committee? Is that a...
That happens today during the day.
Okay.
So that's during the day. So this evening is just public tonight is really a chance for them to talk to the public and for us to see how they interact with the public here and listen to their vision of things. You know, the museum runs so much on volunteers. We really try to give our volunteers the opportunity to meet somebody who's going to be so important to the future of the museum.
I'm glad I'm not on the committee that has to make the final decision, because I would be awful at that.
Me
I
too.
would just stink at that. What's the timetable on making the decision and tendering the offer and that kind of stuff?
That is beyond my pay grade, Dan.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be done in relatively short order.
Yeah, well, they don't really have one, so you know,
Yeah,
so they got to get going and hit the ground running.
You know, Daryl Dickinson has been our interim director, and he's done a lovely job. He really has, yeah.
Yeah, Daryl's a great guy. He really is. He's
He's
been on this show, and he's even come back twice. Doesn't happen too often. You've been here for like 3 or 4 times. The Wenatchee you say it.
The Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival is this Saturday.
August 25th at the
Town Toyota Center. You can join us at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and I still need your card number. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break, Kat, and when we're doing that, I'll go ahead and get all that pertinent information from Lynn. I'm going to go, when I go at number of tickets, I'm going to do 25. And what's the code on that again?
Sure. NCW Life 10.
More with Lynn Kelly when we come back. You're watching one of the most interesting editions of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. We'll be right back.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job.
I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you.
Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCW Life channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
The NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.
Welcome back. Got about 5 minutes left on this Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz, once again, News Director Steve Hair, who's been spending the last half hour or so slaving away at his desk, getting you the latest on the Cougar Creek fire. And you do have something that's relevant from the last time I saw you about 40 minutes ago, Steve.
That's right. We've been tracking this weather system as it's been making its way through the area, bringing with it some cooler temperatures, higher humidities, and a lot of wind. And how's that affecting the Cougar Creek fire? Well, we got the briefing this morning from Incident Commander Noel Henderson, who said things are looking pretty good right now.
I think we're finally, and I emphasize finally, on the back end of that cold front passage. The winds today should be lessening, which is really significant for the firefighters. Still coming from a westerly component, which is good because we're primarily dealing with fire on the west side of this fire, so those winds will push the fire back into itself. But the winds will be down significantly in speed as we go through the day and into the night. Also, the temperatures are going to be down and the relative humidities are up. So weather-wise, we're kind of taking a breath and thinking, boy, this is a good opportunity to get some things done.
So there you have it, folks. Really good news on the fire front, and they can use it. Good news at this point.
And of course, now they can see what they're doing from the air, which they couldn't do for about a week. And so they'll give the guys who's actually on the fire lines, the infantry, if you will, with the picks and the shovels and the saws, they can give them a little bit of a break because that's just back-breaking, sweaty, difficult work, and they can get the tankers and the airdrops up there so they can see what they're doing, which you can't do if you can't do retardant drops if you can't see where to put it at.
By the way, you folks out in the Chumstick area, Plain area, probably going to get a little air show today. They're going to bring in the big guys, the big fixed-wing aircraft for retardant drops. So if you see it, hey, get some video of it. Send it our way. We'd love for you to send it to us. You can do it in an MP4 format. Mm-hmm. Please make it horizontal.
Yeah, do this.
You know?
Not this.
If you take a picture.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, or a video. And just email it to us at news@ncwlife.com.
Got some new readings from the Washington State Department of Ecology at their air monitoring sites. That's the current reading now for Wenatchee. That's actually a little worse. When we started this program, Steve, 57 minutes ago, it was at 55. Now we're up to 74 in the Wenatchee Valley. That is moderate. Still not bad at all.
I'll take that.
Chelan has gotten a little bit better, but not much. Chelan an hour ago was 107, unhealthy for sensitive groups. Chelan's current reading is now 104, which is still unsensitive for unhealthy for sensitive groups. A little bit better in Chelan, a little bit worse.
It's unsensitive for healthy groups, I think, isn't it?
It's just, I don't know. It's 104. There you go. Let's real quickly take a look at your weather forecast. That's what it's looking like. It's going to be fairly clear today. The big story today is going to be the wind for the Wenatchee Valley. Northwest wind about 13 to 17 miles an hour. 7 to 17 miles an hour tonight. Northwest wind 7 to 17 miles an hour on Saturday. So not bad today, tonight, Saturday. Cool. Very cool for late August, no question about that. Now Sunday, they start talking about some haze, especially by Sunday afternoon. The winds are going to shift direction a little bit, and it's going to bring some of that smoke down from the British Columbia area. There's a lot of fires up in central British Columbia.
Is that a rain cloud?
No, that's just hazy. That's just haze, okay. Yeah. So we're going to go back to hazy and smoky conditions starting Sunday afternoon, but it's not going to be nearly as bad. It's just going to be kind of widespread and sticking around a little bit. Starting on Sunday and through Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I wanted to get that out of there. Big day tomorrow for our television family. It's the social event of the year, the wedding of Jonathan and Rachel. There they are. There's the happy couple. That's not an accurate.
Somebody's been doing some.
Yeah, that's been photoshopped a little bit, but they've been going out for 7 years.
They're childhood sweethearts.
Yeah, they've known each other for a gazillion years, and tomorrow, Jonathan and Rachel are getting married. Isn't that cool?
So
that's pretty exciting.
Mr. and Mrs. Mandelis are pretty proud.
Yes. So congratulations to Rachel and to Jonathan. Have a wonderful and fruitful life together, and the best wishes to everybody here from the NCW Life Channel. It's the social event of the year.
Go out and beget now, huh?
Go out and beget.
There you go.
Beget what?
Well, never mind.
This has been a weird week.
Be fruitful.
There you go.
There you go.
Wherever you go this weekend, don't forget to take us along. We are portable. If you got a smartphone, we stream. So whatever's on television at any one time, you can also watch in real time right there on your telephone. If anything big news-wise happens, we will break in with regular programming. Hopefully that won't happen because, quite frankly, I need a 2-day weekend, and I know you do. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the clean air. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.